Hello everyone, this is Laura with Busy Bee Farm, and I just wanted to touch base with you guys. The last time I think that we made a video, we talked a little bit, well, a lot about my garden because I have enjoyed it so much this year. And then we also talked about a little bit of sad news that we had with our baby turkeys that we had ordered. And so an update on that, I want to start with that, and then we're just going to kind of quickly move to the garden. And then I'm going to show you the back garden too, because I didn't get to do that in the last garden tour. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that too as we kind of go through some of the garden. So the last time we talked, we had received a shipment of turkeys, and we lost 9 of them and then lost the other 2 as well. So, actually, I think the last time that we talked, we still had 1 that was still alive from that shipment. And after I made that video, that's right, after I made that video the next day, that baby turkey passed away as well. But also the day that I made that video, was it that? It was actually the next day. The next day after I made that video, we went to a local store here, close to us, about 45 minutes away, and they actually had some baby turkeys. They had the white broad-breasted turkeys. And so they only had 6 of them left. And so we made a trip up to that store to purchase them. And we also got 4 Rhode Island Red baby chicks that day as well. We had meant to get Rhode Island Reds in the spring, and we weren't able to get any. We were just able to get our Buff Orpingtons, which are behind me. There they are, trying to survive this heat. They are getting to be really big girls, so we are actually going to be about ready to move them with our main flock of hens that we have. But I wanted to share with you our little babies. They hear me talking. I come and talk to them throughout the day, me and the sweet little boy that I take care of, and we talk to these sweet babies every day. They're still a little skittish and don't really want us to pick them up, but anyway, we have still surviving, and it's been a couple weeks now, still surviving our sweet little turkeys and baby chickens. So I'm going to show them to you. It is hot in this brooder. This is all we really have to make as a brooder. And they're doing fine, but it does get kind of warm, which is great for little babies. Now that they're getting bigger, though, I think they probably do get a little warm. We have the doors open, and we have a fan going. So if it gets a little loud, or if you hear the fan, you understand why we have that going on. But they are doing fabulous, and they're just sweet babies. I think we have at least 2 boy turkeys. I've seen them kind of stretch their feathers and puff up, strutting their stuff, and so, but here they are, these sweet little babies. There's all those darlings. Well, hello. Yeah, come tell everybody hi. Come tell them hi, so they can see you. Yeah. So, like I said, we have 6 of the broad-breasted white turkeys, and then we have 4 Rhode Island Reds. And they have done really, really well. They are growing, and you can see this one right there. He was trying to stretch those feathers and kind of act big and tall like a boy turkey, huh? Yeah. I know, I see you guys. You are so sweet. And they just listen, and when we come to talk to them, they're so sweet. They've been so good. They've gotten big enough to where they're now flying to the top rail up here, and we've had I think twice now they've flown over, so it's a matter of time now before we're gonna have to move them outside into a small little tractor. Yeah, a small little chicken tractor, which is just a movable, basically a movable cage of some sort to keep them in until they can get big enough to go down with the goats. Yeah, hi darlings. And all my sweet little Rhode Island Reds over there just laying down. Y'all are so sweet. Yeah, look at you. I see you puffing up. Yeah, I see you babies. Hi darlings. Hi darlings. So what kind of started as a sad situation, we have been able to still find some turkeys, and hopefully as they've been here for a couple of weeks now, that they will continue to grow and survive. But we have enjoyed having them. They have been a pure joy to have. So sweet. So there we go. That's an update. I promised you that we would update on the turkeys, and we got more than turkeys. We got more chickens too. So you can never have too many chickens, my opinion. Especially with this heat, our chickens have not been laying as well during the really bad heat, hot weather that we've had here lately. So, and in the last last week and this week, we've had kind of an increase in storms and things like that we hadn't had for weeks as well. And so that's some thunder in the background that you hear. We've had some rain off and on today. But I'm going to go show you my garden now that you've seen the sweet baby turkeys. And the baby chickens. We take care of them and talk to them each and every day. And then it's time to see the garden. The garden is doing really, really good. We had the really long, dry drought spell, and we were having to water a lot, which pulled it through, basically. It really kept it going enough so that now that we've been getting a little bit more rain, kind of consistently here lately, naturally, then it has continued just to take off. So I'm going to kind of go quickly through things just to let you see some things. We've been harvesting tomatoes now. I actually have some tomatoes in my big roaster inside today, and I'm cooking them down to make some tomato sauce. And we've picked a handful of peppers. Not a lot of big bell peppers yet. I will show you those plants, but the mini bell pepper plants, which really took off the best, they've had several bell peppers on them. And so when I've needed some bell peppers, I've been able to pull off of them and either cook them fresh, or I do have several in the tomato sauce that I'm making today. And lots of cucumbers. I know I have canned 30 plus jars of pickles, mainly dill pickles. I haven't really done any sweet pickles or bread and butter pickles or anything like that. And then the green beans. The green beans just have not done so great this year. I think it's the heat and the location in which they are. Last year we did the pole beans here in the front garden, and we did our bush beans in the back garden, and they did really good. And so, but this year I just wanted to have everything kind of in the front garden, except for some of our different crops that we grow that we do in the back garden. And so anyway, of course it's been hot, the drought. Where they are in the garden, they get sun all day long, and I think that just has kind of dried them out. So they've just not been very good. However, my rattlesnake pole beans that I planted are now starting to have green beans. And I picked 2 green beans off of there yesterday. So that's very encouraging. And then I'll have to show you the Cushaw. Cushaw pumpkins that I have growing, they look kind of like a gourd. And then the butternut squash is just about ready as well, the little mini ones. So we're going to quickly kind of go through and I will explain all of that to you. So the jalapenos are here. Still haven't really got any peppers off of them. They are just now getting blooms, but they are up here more in the shade. This is the Jetstar row. It's not as tall as the rest of these tomatoes that you see. And their tomatoes are small. So I really feel like it's the location in which they are. This next row is Jet Setter tomatoes, and they've been pretty good. You can see I have a ripe one. Ooh, there's several ripe ones down here. Let's see, there's a ripe one right there, and I've got to get down here and tie up my tomatoes again. But you can see kind of down there as well, there's several that are going to be ready to pick, and I'll probably do salsa next. I know that I want to do salsa, tomato sauce, and diced tomatoes with my tomatoes. Here is a Amish paste tomato. You can kind of see it's in that oblong kind of like aroma. So that's the paste tomato, which I use regular tomatoes, paste tomatoes for anything I do. So I don't just grow them specifically to do sauce or salsa or whatever. I use my tomatoes that I get for everything that I make. So whether they're slicing or paste. So that's what I do. And then this row, peppers. We have some bell peppers starting here. And then I think on the next row, I think I have several. But they are, they're still growing, and they still have, like this one's fixing to get, bell pepper on there. So they're still working on making food. Let's see. And then on down here is, so there's all those ripe tomatoes that I'll be coming out to pick. And with the rain that we've been getting, you can see they're starting to split. And when I see that, I kind of basically just go ahead and pick them, because I don't want the risk of rotting or bugs getting in it or anything like that. And of course, they've already turned, so they're totally fine. These are the mini bell peppers, 4 peppers on that plant. And the same for these over here until yesterday when I picked them. We came out and picked those and for our sauce. And this row right here, this is the red Goliath, I believe, right here. And several tomatoes, and they are doing good. Hey girls, I know it's been a good time, huh? Getting all the scraps from the garden. It's been yummy. So yeah, there's those. These are my celebrities. They're the ones that I've shown you that kind of have tons of fruit on them, but you can see the bottoms of the plants are starting to kind of die off, but we still have new growth at the top. Naturally this time of year, they're trying to, kind of start working their way down. But oh my goodness, I cannot believe all of these tomatoes that are going to be ready to pick here soon. It's amazing. They're all going to come in at one time. Oh, here's a bell pepper. There's a bell pepper. So that's a really nice size bell pepper. Kind of excited about that. And that's the Emerald Giants, the ones I grew last year that the plants never got that big and never really produced fruit. And there's 2 more right there. That's really awesome. There's one over there. Oh goodness. A lot has happened in 24 hours, I tell you. A lot of these have bell peppers on them. And that's this row. Let's see. Still lots of tomatoes. I need to get out here and kind of tie them up. With the rain and things, we've not had a lot of heavy wind or anything like that, but we've had, just rain here and rain there and just over and over and over. So, which is great. I don't need to complain about that at all. But it definitely kind of weighs them down a little bit, and I definitely have to make sure that they get up. Let's see, this row is hot peppers, And we do have some, like this plant right here. There's several jalapenos there and in there. And then my cherry tomatoes, they are finally starting to take off. You can see all these cherry tomatoes. That's one of the favorites of that sweet little boy that I take care of. He loves to look for ripe, ready to pick cherry tomatoes. He doesn't really like to eat them, but he likes to pick them. Let's see, there's a nice red tomato. That is a celebrity. Yes, a celebrity. And then on down here, these right here are a the orange jalapenos, but they have not turned, and there's still some on this one as well, but they have not turned orange yet. And then on down here I have this is a serrano, and it's got several peppers on it. And then I also have some poblano plants, and they have lots of peppers on them right there. Let's see, as we continue, these are still all my celebrities. Really need to get out here and pick some of these because they have split with this rain and so forth. But look at all these clusters. It's just beautiful. And then this row, these are sunny, so yellow tomatoes. Here's one right here. I actually tried one the other day, and it's just definitely, it's not as acidic as the red ones are. So it definitely has more of a less acidic flavor, but it was good. Oh, here's another yellow one. This plant's about done. It is looking pitiful. And then it looks like it's been eaten by some things as well. So, yeah, but that's just the way it kind of goes. And then the cucumbers, they're kind of on their way out. They've produced a lot. There's still several cucumbers on here. I need to come down here and pick all of these. And probably make another batch of pickles as we're kind of winding that part of the garden up. And our sunflowers, this was the first one to bloom, and now it's starting to die. But we have several others that are looking so pretty, and this one's gonna bloom soon. And let's see, we have cayennes down here. There's a few that are red. And then all my cherry tomatoes, like I said, they finally just kind of took off. And then we have like some chili peppers through here. And then we'll go over here and take a quick peek. There's all of my big cucumbers that I only planted pickling cucumbers, and these have gotten really big, and so we will just feed those to the chickens. We weren't able to get out here for 3 days to pick them, and that's what happens is they just get big. But here are the honey nut butternut squash, and they are just about ready. How pretty is that? And there are several of them on here. Now, I've had to come out every day the best that I can and squash bugs and smush squash bug eggs to try to keep them alive so that they can transition in their color, so that we can have them to eat. But we have several of those. And then here are the big cushaws. There's the one. It's still doing okay. Watching its stem. Here's all my pole beans that are doing really good. I'm hoping they give me a lot of green beans, the few plants that we have right here. so that I can have some green beans, because we do eat a lot of those. There's a little bean growing. Hey ladies. Hey ladies. How are you? So we'll come on this side and let you see. So we have this cushaw supported by this t-shirt and some real sturdy, what they call mule tape rope, and it's just hanging on there real good. So we're gonna keep watching it. And then the other one over here is still hanging on right there. I wasn't sure. I thought it would do great on this cattle panel, and so far so good. However, they're huge. They are so big. I did not expect them to be this big. And then here's all my beans, and they're just hot and burning up and drying up, and they just look pitiful. But these sunflowers look good. This one over here is about to bloom and come open. And then these were open all week. So pretty. So pretty. And then the real tall one that we have up here, that was really, really pretty when it came out earlier this week. Still is. And then these darker ones, I don't know if they're still considered an autumn beauty kind of one or not. I can't remember what I planted, but this one's darker as well as that one right there. So, but super pretty. So that's kind of the front garden. Lots going on. Doing our best just to take care of it with the best way we know how. I still have not sprayed with anything. I have not used any kind of spray to keep bugs off. And honestly, I've not used any fertilizer on my garden in probably a month. So it's purely by hand watering and the rainwater and the Lord providing. That's absolutely what it is. Otherwise, if the Lord did not provide the rain and the ability to make these grow, then I couldn't do it all to make it happen. So we are going to go look at the back garden and show you kind of what's going on there. I did want to show you also that I harvested my beets out of my green stalk, and these are the few little beets that I got. Not a lot, but there are a few there for me to have successfully grown them. That is all I could ask for. These are the golden beet, and then this is a red beet. I can't remember which one it is. But you can see I just have a handful there. I am going to plant some more. Up here in my green stalks, I've taken out several things because it's time. I harvested my carrots, which we got a little handful. That was awesome. And then we've started some other things in our trays here, like cabbages and like chard and some beets and things like that I'm going to plant. Here's some more things like here, broccoli and things like that that we're going to plant. But I do have some peppers plants still growing here in my green stalk bed, and it's doing good. You can see right here, that's a raised bed. That was my birthday present from Matthew, and he filled it up for me yesterday. We did some cardboard on the bottom. We did just some topsoil from way back in our woods area, and then the top layer is just some potting soil, the Happy Frog that I've used this past year for starting my seeds and things. So pretty soon we are going to be planting in that, and I'll let you know what's going on there. Kind of excited. I don't have my greenhouse ready yet for any raised beds, but at least I can start with that. So we are gonna head to the back garden and see what's going on there. All right, we're back here at the back garden, and as you can see, there's a couple of things. For one, we have a ton of weeds in the corn, but that's okay. It's still doing okay. And for two, you see that we have our Premier One fence around our back garden. And the reason we have that is because in the last couple weeks, we have noticed what we believe is probably a raccoon, or probably it could be squirrels, who knows, has been getting into our corn. And as you keep going down these two rows, you can probably see from right here that it's kind of, there's no corn kind of there in the middle. And that's where some kind of animal has knocked it down, stripped the corn off of it and eaten it. And so when we noticed that, we went ahead and put up this fence to try to protect what we had left. Because this year for our corn has been really, really tough. We planted it came up good. It got super, super hot. We were trying to water and we tried our best, but this is as tall as it got. We remember last year, I do believe that the Providence, well, this right here is Providence, and that's Montauk corn. And if I remember correctly, the Providence corn got a lot taller, and there was definitely more success in germination. As you can tell, there's really only good germination and good growth kind of in the middle there, right around where those water sprinklers are. So last year we had better success than this year, so we really wanted to hang on with what we have and not give it to the animals. So we put our fence up, and we're just kind of waiting to see some of these silks really turn and get brown. They're getting there. So it won't be too much longer, and maybe it'll taste okay. I heard from some folks at church they had received some corn from someone local here, and the corn was just dry because we had not had a lot of rain, and even just the not natural, but just the water that we get from the city, out of the city water and things like that, just does not have the good nutrients that the rainwater does to provide what our plants need to grow effectively and good. So anyway, we'll just have to see what happens there. Now our melons, we have 4 or 5 watermelons that are growing pretty good. And then if you can see kind of the jungle out there, that's all of our pumpkin plants that we planted about a month ago. They were little bitty. I hand watered those because it got so hot, no rain. I was afraid they were gonna die after being transplanted, but they have taken off. Now, out of the sea of green, there's only one plant that's got pumpkins on it right now. However, you can see the yellow, so there's lots of blooms. So hopefully soon we'll be seeing more and more pumpkins on those plants. And then our okra finally has taken off this week. We have some okra to be harvested today, and I'm going to do that here shortly. But that's kind of where that is. We harvested our onions, we've harvested our potatoes. Neither one were great. They were okay, but neither one of them were great. And I think it had to do with our weather. So much with our weather, and yes, our fault. Probably somewhat of the weeds too. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to pick some okra, and then I'll also show you on down a little bit how the garden's going. Okay, so here's the zucchini and the squash. You can tell one of the plants is really starting to just dwindle. This one's probably fixing to go next, but there's still a golden zucchini there. There's a zucchini right in there that we will harvest. But it's just about, look at there. There's another zucchini, and then there's another zucchini. I'll be harvesting those too. And then you can see over there from this angle, there's all those pumpkin plants. And hopefully they will produce a pumpkin or two out of all that. We still have a little bit of squash growing in there. Another plant done for this. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what this is. This right here looks like it is part of the pumpkin plants. It has intermingled with the squash. So there's a little pumpkin that's growing. That's what that is. And there's probably more in there. I just haven't got down in there to look. Let's see. Where's the plant? There's the plant that has the pumpkin on it. Here is one right there. If I remember correctly, because I kind of messed up on planting these two and remembering what I planted where, but I think that's the English pie pumpkin. And there's one more growing over there I can see. And then our okra is ready to harvest. And then I'm gonna show you our sugar baby watermelons. I've been terrible at calling them pumpkins because this area is so full of pumpkin plants. But we have, let's see, 1, 2, and 3. I know I have a 4th one somewhere. I'm just not finding it, I don't think. Let's see, I know that we have that little one. Oh, it's over here. And it's in with the pumpkins. Oh, there's some squash bug eggs. They like the pumpkin plants too. I've just been picking them off and then squishing them. I know that you can put them in soapy water, but I think anything that just squishes them and gets them out of your plant is all that it takes. So that's it. That's what's happening here in this garden. The back garden, the front garden, all around the farm here. That's what's happening. And it's the first week of August. Kids Livia went back to school. Matthew's been in school all summer. And we are still just real busy with our business and with our farm here, growing all these things in our garden the best that we can. So thank you guys for hanging out with us today, kind of taking a look around the farm to see what we've got going and growing. And we hope that everything's going and growing good at your place too. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel and you find our content interesting, maybe think about subscribing and sticking around. We don't produce a lot of videos, but we try. And so we thank you though for all those that are subscribed and are followers of our channel. We thank y'all so much. Thank you guys. Take care and God bless.